You're listening to Every Day's a Saturday USMC Veteran Podcast.
Now introducing your host of Every Day's a Saturday USMC Veteran, the one-man show, Brian Roof.
Hey, what's going on, friends and fam? Welcome to another great day, another great interview. And my gosh, we have made it to the big milestone. This is going to be the 100th interview. My gosh, it is crazy. What a ride, what a journey it's been, and how far we've come. Like starting off episode 1, completely audio and just, kind of scripted, and then it's kind of translated into what it is today. And I can't thank each and every one of you out there enough. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for, staying patient with me, listening to all these great stories that are told by our veterans or first responders and even advocates, and just, giving them an opportunity to share their stories with you guys. I can't appreciate the support enough. But my next guest, I'm super excited for my 100th interview. This dude is, I got to know him, kind of well through Hero Stock. Not just this year, but last year as well. And we got to, really get to know each other this last Hero Stock. And he's an awesome dude and great dude and Army veteran. And he's got some amazing things going on in his life. But made a little video, and then we're going to bring him on right after this 100th interview video. Here we go. And for our 100th interview, we got Justin Donscheski. I think I said that right.
What up, brother?
What up, my brother? Did I fuck up your last name, Donscheski?
Donscheski?
Yeah. Is that good?
Oh, yeah, perfect.
All right, perfect. Well, I'll take it.
Right.
Sold. What up, man? I'm super excited to have you on, bro. It's been an honor to get to, meet you and hug you and just have some great fun, man. I really enjoyed our Hero Stock experience, especially this last one. Got to hang out with you a lot more. But bro, I'm super excited for you to come here and talk about, your experience, what made you decide to join the Army, and you weren't ready to be a Marine yet. And and then, just talk about your experiences while you were in, man, and then what transitioning out of there looked like for you, and what life got in store for you today, man. Let's get to know Justin.
Well, hell yeah, man. So growing up, I grew up in a small town in Iowa called Dunlap, Iowa. A small farm family. We lived in town. My grandpa lived out on the farm. I helped him throughout my whole life, just, doing whatever they told you to do. I remember 9/11, 2001. I was in 9th grade in social studies, and we were going over just world, the countries, and all the old wars. And our teacher just like freaks out and he's like, I need to go get a TV right now, and just takes off and comes running in with this TV, on the little stand, the old big 19-incher, and plugs it in, and she pushes and finds a channel. And at that time it shows the plane hitting the first Trade Center, or the Twin Towers. And I started getting really pissed off, like really mad. Like I didn't understand what was going on. And then she let us know that there's a terrorist attack. And from that day on, I didn't want it to go after my family. I didn't want the war to come home. So in my head, that day, I told myself I was going to be in the Army. I was going to be in the military. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, but that got thrown out because college kind of messed that up. But once I did some colleging, decided that I needed to do it now, dropped out of school or withdrew, and went to AIT in 07, or basic in AIT in 07, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and then to Fort Lee, Virginia for AIT. And then went in, when I got out of basic, they gave us 4 months and told me that I was going overseas.
What was your job? Because in the Army, they kind of send you to boot. There's a lot of different boot camps too, right? Like, is it based off of your job?
Yeah, they usually, like your boot camp, they try to compartmentalize everybody in like close to the same MOS. So you kind of do your thing, and then shit, man, I just lost track of what you asked the question of.
No, just about how you guys, go to different boot camps and stuff like that based off of your job. So,
oh yeah,
yeah. So, what job did you end up going into?
Sorry, my bad. So I was a '92 Yankee. So from Fort Jackson, they kind of keep you close, and then most Fort Jackson people, like your motor pool people, stayed there, and then we shipped to Fort Lee, Virginia, which were like all your cooks and other people went. The 42 Alphas did our 13-week training there, and then once we got done, about 2 weeks left of AIT, I had my drill sergeant pull me in to an office and tell me, hey, you are going with an Omaha unit, the 530th, to Iraq in January of would have been 08. And I said, oh, okay. So when I get out of here, I'm going straight over. Like, well, you'll have a few months to acclimate with your unit, which I got about 2 or 3 that I got to meet some people kind of. And then when we got there to Camp Bucca, Iraq, I was a part of detainee supplies. So I had this big warehouse that we had to put all the detainees, like your mattresses, your toothbrush, toothpaste, just like a prison over here would get. And then we take it to the compounds. Well, about 2 weeks in, we had a big overflow, too many soldiers. So my unit, the 530th that I was in, kind of pawned me off to the 42nd MP Brigade. So I went from being detainee supply to kind of doing whatever they wanted me to. So I was that guy that while I was over there, I was a part of the JDC yard. I did MINFRIC, which is the court systems. I was a guard, watched over the shark tank. I did DAT missions, QRF, most of it, about a good 5-month job. Was whatever they needed, I did. And then my unit, when they wanted me to come in and fill in a spot that a soldier went on leave on, they just kind of took me out of that environment and stuck me in a different environment. And like, this is yours for 2 weeks. Learn it, get well at it, and go. And I started doing that. And towards the end of the deployment, we had a lot of Dartmoors, a lot of prisoner escapes, just a lot of stupid stuff happening that shouldn't have happened. And my unit pulled me into the A-lock and gave me a desk job like the last month to kind of calm down. And it was there I started realizing I was never going to be the same. Like I had a soldier come up and touch my shoulder, and I thought he was choking me out, and I threw him over my shoulder in our A-lock. You have like those plyboards, 3/4-inch plyboards, up as a wall, kind of slammed him in that, knocked that over, kind of like a dum-dum. And then they told me I needed to kind of chill, and I needed to go talk to a sick hall lady. So I went and talked to her for a minute, and yeah, shit, I started railing there for a minute, brother.
No, that's what we do. Nah, so man, but no, it's good to talk about your experiences and stuff, and obviously, like you said, you started to notice a difference in yourself based off of that, one incident. Now, did you get yourself in a lot of trouble from all that stuff? And they ended up, you know, doing anything about it, or did you just were you able to get out? And did you do 4 years and get out, or did you do longer than 4 years?
I did 8.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I did the 6 and 2. So all that stuff overseas, I was always told, run and gun, do your thing. Like, don't think, just do. So when we got home, my unit, the 530th, put me on a bunch of orders. So I got home, I did my yellow ribbons in the 3 months, whatever you were given a time frame. And then they would send me to Cali, Fort Hunter Liggett, to do some shit. They'd sent me to Riley a lot to fix some numbers that were messed up, to get some counting. Like there were some cots and numbers. You got to have it all match up in order for it to go in the books. So they had me going everywhere. So I never really got that camaraderie that most of everybody in the military got as a veteran. Like you all had that clique, that group, that posse. I was Han Solo. I had a couple friends and acquaintances, but I didn't have like that battle brother.
Click,
like,
right. Yeah.
Like ride or die, you're my dude. Like, I mean,
you didn't have no battle buddies?
I had friends. I mean, at the time you can call them battles, but
battles, that's right. Yeah, battles.
We're still battles, but it's hit and miss. It's all we all grow apart, and
yeah.
Y'all find your clique, and it just took me a lot longer to find mine. Everybody else kind of found their people, and I kind of isolated myself and didn't want to try to find people because I always got shunned. So I just kept to myself.
Yeah, I get it, man. And I think that happens to a lot of us, especially when we first get out, especially because you kind of feel like you're just, when you get out too, the guys that are still in kind of like, fuck you anyways, right? Because you got out,
Right.
and you went back to your hometown. You may not be so close to all the people you were. So it's very easy for us just to pretty much say like, fuck off, and kind of go our own separate ways. Now, when you guys were doing the prisoner thing, I don't remember what year was it. Was it early in the? You heard about that whole Dob, the one prison where the army guys were fucking doing Abu Dhabi or whatever the hell it's called.
Abu Dhabi.
I can't think of the prison. Yeah, that where all the army guards were sitting there taking photos of the prisoners, like doing crazy stuff with them.
Yeah, like the fucked up part. Yeah.
Yeah, what year was that? Was that probably like 2004, maybe 2005, or was that a little bit more around your time? And I was wondering if you kind of heard about that because you said you had to deal with prisoners and stuff, and if they ever had referenced that whole situation in any way.
No, I can't remember that. I can't remember if that incident was before or after. But we had to worry about CNN quite a bit because we had, sorry, Air Force out there, I'm not trying to name drop, but we had some Air Force complaining about soggy meals and sand in their food because they were running compounds. And we had to push CNN away from the gates of our FOBs because they were trying to get in to do stories on the living conditions of a soldier. And then we had you know what waffle butt is?
No.
It's where a girl pulls her pants down and puts it up to a chain link fence, and the dude comes. Yeah. So we had 2 Air Force girls go back home because they got pregnant with prisoner babies.
Wow.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, 2 weeks after that, we had a prisoner escape, which ended up not being a prisoner escape. Somebody mixed up the NSN number and put him in with A Shiite.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And what did the Shiite shit on them or what?
So it was about an 8-hour Dartmoor, everybody looking. And then we went into the compound, and as we had the dogs running, we're all kind of scoping and doing our thing. One of the soldiers was up underneath of one of the compounds because they're up on bricks. And he noticed like a little wet spot, like hole. And they're like, oh, that's an escape route. Like, let's start digging. So they get underneath and start pulling sand away, pulling everything out. And they get about 3 feet down, and there's pieces. They took their
dismembered him, huh?
Yeah, took their razor blades and just sopranoed his ass.
Yeah, people have no idea how gruesome that those people are.
Oh, it's 25 minutes. They'd have a hole dug out of that fence, and they could have you
pieces with a dull blade.
Yeah. I remember me and a battle buddy were up on the shark cage watching our prisoners because we had a little area they could walk through. So you had like your Sunnis, your Shiites, and then like
they had it pretty separated.
Yeah. And then like you were right there.
Because they really hated each other that much, huh?
Oh, it was bad. Like they would purposely try to go to the bathroom and like say, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, sir, please. So when they'd walk by, if you watch them, they'd go up to C-wire and they'd act like their pants would get stuck. So they'd act like they're ripping it away, which what they're really doing is breaking some of that razor wire. So when they walk by, they try to raise them up so they could try to start shit. And then
wow.
Oh, it was fun.
Those are some good stories though. Those are like, the stories that need to be told because we don't get to hear it, all that good stuff. But like, I don't think a lot of people understand like that part about it either, that in that region, they became separated big time. Once Saddam was done, then it really, all of a sudden, like you said, the Sunnis, the Shiites, all of a sudden there was all these different groups and they legit are fighting for power. And obviously that was translating like into the prisons. Like you guys were dealing with Middle East gangs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's very similar how our American jail cells are here with the gangs and stuff. But you guys were dealing with it in a whole. They do it over there. It's like a whole religious battle against each other. Because there's these fools sit there and pray too, right? Like there's. Sit there and, pray after they just got done dismembering some dude in the name of Allah, right? Like,
on their little stuff.
What a wild group, man. And what an experience it was dealing with them. I mean, for you, bro, like, how long were you in the jails and all that stuff, doing that kind of stuff?
The sweeping?
Yeah, or just like being a part of in the jails with, prisoners and having to deal with these guys.
So when my unit, their main mission was Minfrick. Whenever they had soldiers go on leave, they would pull people in to fulfill those spots. Well, they had a female soldier that was doing it for a bit, and they took her. They wanted to put her somewhere else, so they took her out, which I think she was upset about it because she liked being an honorary MP. She was a supplies personnel like I was. So pretty much we just kind of slapped hands like, hey, see ya.
Right.
So I went in and it was every day we got one day off, I believe. It's kind of like a partial day, but every day for about 3 months. And then once they got it, the level field got played out, I jumped to a different spot and then fulfill wherever they wanted me.
So within those 2 to 3 months, though, did you have to deal with some pretty crazy stuff? I mean, or was it relatively chill mostly?
You had your immature little shits. Like you had your mouthy ones that like would want to buck. A few times when I was in the holding area, because we had 10 prisoners to one soldier, and then you had a soldier guarding your judges, your brass, and then your translator, and then your prisoner. So he had the less than lethal, your taser, while you just had a baton with 10 people. Few times we had guys break their cuffs, like their zip tie cuffs, just like sit there and snap them, then try to take off running. And we've had to slam them down and like push them into the wall and like kind of restructure their flexi cuffs and then put them down and strap them to their feet. But that way they look like a duck sitting there like this.
Yeah, try to run now, bitch.
Yeah, leapfrog.
Yeah,
it wasn't super crazy. Just it was more we had to show that we weren't afraid to get a little rough with them. Like if they didn't want to move, I would hold them by their hips and kind of lift them a little bit and move them an inch or two and let them know like, hey, I can lift you. Like it's either you're gonna walk or we're gonna play sack.
We'll move you, bitch. Yeah. You can do this the easy way or the hard way. You know? Man, that's awesome. I mean, awesome and not awesome. Now, in terms of the prisoners themselves, did you feel like they didn't give a shit that they were there? You could tell that they really wanted out of there. A little bit of both, or because I mean, I imagine we take care of them halfway decent.
Well, they got taken care of pretty well. They got taken care of pretty well. I mean, compared to our system in America, yeah, the mattresses here are not as comfy as the ones over there, if that says anything.
Yeah, that's why I just see we're kind of nice. I mean, we're really nice with our prisoners of war. There's no comparison, to their prisoner of war, because we sure don't last long. Now, dude, I gotta imagine though, in some senses though, there was some stress relation there. I mean, being in that kind of a situation, it's obviously weighs on you guys after a while. And I mean, were they loud, screamers and stuff like that, like making noises, like, or were they all pretty chill?
Oh no, we had 24 compounds total, but you had your days where they'd be quiet, but they're usually trying to plan something. But usually pretty loud. Like they didn't care. Like
do you feel like they're ever trying to do like an uprising type thing? Like you ever feel like they were trying to figure out a way on how to just overtake you guys, or they didn't have that much nuts?
I think they were. There's times that they tried. I mean, we had some escapes. Like, not gonna lie, like we got them back. We got them back.
Right.
But, like they're quick, man. Like they were within 30 minutes after the call. Like we get a Dartmoor, and it's like, what the fuck? And 20 minutes into the search, they find the prisoner mattress, like the sheeting, cut up like to make clothes in a water buffalo, like a water tank. And then they go another 300 yards to the berm, like your little peak. And there's another detainee mattress sitting over top the sea wire to get out.
No shit.
When where they messed up was like the nearest town was 2-3 miles away. So it wasn't going to take long to get there and get them. So it was pretty much jumping the Humvee, hammered on it. It was like, hey, dumb, get in the car. We got some water for you. Like, don't be dumb. Like, it's too hot out here. Come on, buddy.
You ain't gonna make it, bud. You're better off over here.
Like in the Army now, when dude's running down the hill, falls down, thinks he sees water. It's a mirage. Just get in, buddy. Just drink some water.
Now, was it kind of interesting or crazy for you to go from your job and then all of a sudden you're thrown into this and you're like, whoa, how the fuck does this happen? Or were you kind of already aware that could possibly be a thing?
When I first got there, we were told, be ready for change, overcome and adapt. And no question is a stupid question, which that's a lie because they let you know right away. That's a stupid question.
Yeah, bro. No, don't fall for that bullshit.
But
only the stupid.
oh yeah. Yeah. Then once they find out that you're a quick learner, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, we're gonna pull you here, there. But it was different to catch on. It was a lot more. The flow was different. Like 1 minute you're balls to the wall, like you got to be very persistent with them, like, hey, come on, like it's time for you to go to your hearing, like we need to get going. And then there's days where the core system's just going slow and you're just chilling, like you're sitting in a shade tent, just drinking your water, smoking your hookah, just waiting for them to call so you can go get your prisoners and go do your thing.
I'm laughing about the hookah thing because I tell you what, just about every fucker got about a hookah out there, you know? Oh man, I didn't even know what the hell a hookah really was until out there. And dudes were, had them back at the hooch, and I didn't even know how to use the things or nothing like that. These dudes like had the flavored charcoals, and
Oh yeah,
they would like sit there with like a 6 hoser and just sit there struggling for that hit.
for fucking 2-3 hours you're hitting that thing, messing
Yeah,
with
dude.
donut coals.
Man, yeah, it was something to kind of pass time, honestly. But that's funny that you mentioned that shit. That just brings me back to those are good old hooch days.
Right, get your big old
But yeah, so dude, like after deploying and all that stuff and getting yourself when it's time to get out, man, how did the transition look for you? And when you were getting out, were you able to adapt back into, what did you do? Did you go back home? What did you do?
I went back to Iowa. I thought everything would go back to, the norm, like
right.
What you would expect. Like you forget you were gone for a year, everybody, moves on. And then I tried to be myself, like that old Justin and that positive guy that everybody like wanted around, and it wasn't that quite so much. It was more, I was wanting to get drunk. I was wanting to fight. I was wanting to argue. I was very down on myself, very just not happy with myself. And I guess I just shoved everything down until I found that right group. And when I felt accepted and comfortable, I started opening up to people about what I went through and what I did, because I didn't have when I went home. I didn't have, that welcome home party where your family says they miss you, they love you. I got that part, the quick 2-minute hug and love. But minute we got boots on ground at home, right at the house, it was once again Han Solo. So,
yeah, and it was get yourself a job, go figure it out, and
you get a house, you gotta live your life. And I had no clue how to live my life. I knew one thing, and I didn't know where to go because I got told by the Army, you got 50 different jobs. So trying to stay at one job and do that and be happy with it was kind of a hard thing. It was hard to just stay and not get bored with it, because I was so used to just jumping from job to job and learning everything that, whatever they wanted me to, that I was never really bored. Now I gotta sit down, meet people that don't really care. Like they're just there in my eyes. Like they're not grateful for what's going on in the world. Their eyes aren't open. Like it just, hearing the people complain over the dumbest shit just ate at me, which it would never in the past. Like it just,
yeah,
like someone would just complain about like, oh, so I ordered a burger and they forgot my ketchup. It's like, get your fucking ass out of the car, walk in, go put some ketchup on that burger. Then if you want it that bad, you don't need to bitch about it. Like you can change
have a solution, man. Yeah, I think that, bro, that's I think a very common thing for a lot of us. We really looked at complaining a different level, especially when it got out, right? Like,
oh yeah,
it was really like everybody like, come on, bitch. You're like, I feel like calling everybody little bitches. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was my word. I call everybody twat waffle.
What have you? You know what I mean?
Wife looked at me one day. She goes, "What the fuck did you just say?" And I was like, "Well, I called that guy a twat waffle." She goes, "Oh my god, I've never heard that." I'm like, yeah, I just kind of threw it together.
Sounds great though. Yeah, we got to find our terms. But yeah, man. So Continue on and keep telling us more about, how you end up getting yourself a job and all that stuff and get yourself. I know you got family and all that. So how did you get yourself kind of on stable ground, so to speak, or or rockier grounds?
A little bit more sturdier grounds.
Yeah.
It's like a long time. Been married and divorced before. So trying to find my job, I found one thinking I was gonna want to be there, and I didn't feel like I was being respected enough, like for the work I was doing and what they were having me do. I was asking for promotions and asking why I was getting overlooked, and they said your seniority. I said, well, that's funny because I know all these jobs been here short term. You got this guy's been here 20, doesn't even know one, and you gave him a promotion. Like, don't make sense. So, me being hard headed, I was like, well, I'm out. Like, if you guys can't see talent, then I'm deucing. Like,
right.
I'm gonna give you a taste of what I can do. If you can't show me that I'm worth it, then I'm that guy that I shut down and I back away. I'm not come back. Like, I'm that guy that's like I was looking for that respect and couldn't find it anywhere I went. And I, like, where I was living, moved from my hometown to a different town in Southwest Iowa. Met some good people down that area, but just still felt alone and trapped. And then had some incidents happen after got married quick because in my head I didn't want to die alone, and I just jumped like a dumbass and didn't work out. We were married for about 2 years, didn't work out, and I was going through some things and back to drinking heavily. And I was at work one morning, and I get a phone call from a battle buddy of mine saying, we lost a buddy. He committed suicide. And I snapped and I got pissed off, and I left work, and I had nobody to talk to about it, nowhere to go. So I drove, and then I messaged my battle buddy's wife and said, if you ever need anything, let me know. I'm here for you. Like, if you need anything. And she messages me and she says, I need, thinking that I lived in Lincoln. I lived 2 hours away. She says, why, I could use some dog food and cat litter if you're around. And I said, yeah, I can do that. Ran and got her that stuff. And when I met her, it was different. It was peace. It was that comfort that you look for. We became friends and told myself, like, oh, I couldn't do that to my battle buddy. Like, that's his wife. And I had a few friends come up to me and like, well, it was his wife, but now she's single. And if there's something you guys would like to do, and if you guys feel for each other, then maybe you should try. And so I asked if she would like to pursue a relationship with me, my broken ass. And she did. She accepted. And it wasn't until I moved to Lincoln and was closer to some of my battle buddies that haven't seen for a while, and then some events to bring myself more home. I'm not 100% there. I'm working on it and still pushing through for the days and trying to do better. And my wife is probably and my kids are the main reason I'm here. He left 2 little ones behind, and I could never do that to. I don't want to do that to mine or to them again, because that just hurt them. Kenna was 3 and JJ was 3 months old.
Wow. I gotta imagine it's like it's kind of like a bittersweet type of deal that you got going on, right? Like you're always gonna remember him, especially now. You're raising his 2 kids that are now your kids, right? And I think
They act like me too much. We're in trouble.
Yeah, and I'm sure, dude, that him not being here, there's probably no other person that's better for the job, and you guys are kind of good for each other, right?
Oh yeah,
You guys are able to, and man, you have more of an understanding for her too, right? Because she lost someone, right? And you knew that person, and so a lot of times we go in and that person may be sad or something about their losing someone that was in their life really close to the father of her kids. Were they married or?
Yes.
Okay, so her husband. And a lot of times when that happens and someone remarries, and that person that they remarry has to kind of have some understanding towards that, especially even towards the kids. That was their dad, right? So it's a unique situation, but it's also probably a lot. It's I'm sure it's hard and easy at the same time, but for you guys just to be able to lean on each other, it makes things a little easier, right? Like you said, when you went over there, you felt that peace and you felt like that something you were missing.
Yeah.
You felt more complete again, and that was a key tell in what you were missing and you needed, and she probably needed as well.
Right.
And wow, I mean that's a unique story, and I'm glad you've told that part, bro. Like, I know that part's a hard part. That's a hard part of the story, but it's something that we got to talk about because it's reality. And it's a reality that we don't talk about often, but we got to get it out there so it doesn't become someone else's reality, and you can see that you're hurt, right? That's what happens to us when one of our brothers or sisters decide to take their lives. They leave us broken. They leave us even more broken than we were before. And I know they don't realize that because they think no one cares or anything like that, but it's hard because we all fight our own battles every day, man. So sometimes we're in our own little battles. We're not even realizing everybody else is in a battle too, and that's the part we got to start to try to say is, hey, let's try to fight together.
Right.
You're not alone, bro. It's okay to fucking not be okay today. It's okay. You don't got to be this badass every single day you wake up. You know what I mean? That's not, that's we put a huge expectations on each and every one of us. We also really, our culture, everything's kind of sets a level for men, especially for these really high levels for some of these guys to come out and try to just go achieve. And sometimes if we're not exactly hitting the marks that everybody in the community wants, we feel like we're just failures, and that's not necessarily the case, but that's a hard thing, bro. It's a hard thing for our community to go through in general. We keep losing our brothers and sisters, and it hurts to talk about it, but we all got to face those realities that we got to talk about it so we don't have to hear another fucking statistic that we don't want to hear.
Right.
It's only a matter of time before it's your own battle buddy or your own battle. It's, you guys got to, that's why we got to watch each other's back, and look out for one another. But dude, keep talking about, how life has transitioned for you guys since, you got married. You guys got the 2 little kids now. Are you guys gonna try to have any more? Are you guys
So we
done with
got
that?
so we have one together.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So that's
Tommy,
right.
he'll be 2 this January. The January
Sheesh.
yeah, he's we call him Tommy the Terror because
Little TT.
yeah, well, I'm Polish and my wife's Polish, so we kind of
Oof.
yeah, we kind of bred a little asshole.
Little dude's a little spicy boy, a little fury to him.
Oh, he's a sour patch.
Oh
First he's
shit.
sweet, then he's sour. It's not sour than sweet. He'll pet your beard and be like, oh, and the minute you think he's gonna just like walk away, he looks at you, smiles, just boom.
Cold clocks you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great, man.
But yeah, so we got our 3. We're done. We got our hands full. Right. Oh, it's busy. Rach, we moved out to the farm after I moved to Lincoln in 21. We ended up buying a farm about 2 years ago, right after we got married. Little 12 acres right between Eagle, Nebraska, and Lincoln, and just slowly trying to make our home a nice little peaceful place. And
that's good, man. So what else you got going on for yourself now, man? Like, and what have you been busy with your, keeping yourself busy and stuff like that?
so besides working, I work at Kawasaki as a robot programmer. Besides that, I try to help out Hero Stock in any way I can, whether it be volunteering for events or like some booth time that they need help with at a event that they're helping host or whatever.
And how did you end up getting connected with Hero Stock?
So back in 2022, when me and Rach got married, a week after, I was helping when Jesse was with Wheels for Warriors, and kind of helping Hero Stock start up. I went with him to help veteran get receive a free bike. They call it wind therapy. I had one of our battle buddies that we went overseas with. At 21, I did that, and I seen the impact it had on our battle buddy that we went overseas with, getting a bike and wind therapy. That I wanted to keep doing it, helping him. So any chance I got, I would go and help if it was a benefit or whatever. Like, hey, what do you need? What do you want me to do? A week after we got married, we went to help him at a Scribner event in Nebraska. And long story short, was helping him trying to find out who this veteran was. And Jess said, oh, he's from Missouri. He's up here somewhere. The guy said the dude's background story and said my name about 4 times and had no idea it was me. And I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, I'm confused, like, whatever. And then my wife's like, no, that's you. You get this bike. So I started helping out with Wheels for Warriors after I received my motorcycle, and Jesse, mainly my battle brother, Jesse. And Jesse, the following year, we're getting ready to present another bike, which shortly before that event, I had another buddy get in a motorcycle accident. The car pulled out in front of him and he died. And Jesse was in the process of was talking with Jason about making Hero Stock bigger because they had the vet stock the year before. And Jason was there. And then Jesse looked at me and goes, hey, this is Jason Steiner with Hero Stock. Well, vet stock, they're going to change the name to Hero Stock. And I shook his hand. And I was like, hey, nice to meet you, man. He's like, oh, I'm going to go up on stage with you guys to talk about this bike and to say a little bit about what I do. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, shook his hand. And Jesse was, how Jesse is being an MC, giving his great speeches and everything. And he starts talking about my buddy, which happened to be his neighbor that lived next to him. Was talking about my buddy, our friend, and about everything that happened. And I lost it, started crying on stage. And for someone not to know you and reach over and put his arm on you and bring you in close and hug you to let you know, like, hey, dude, you're good. Like, I was on a stage with hundreds of people staring at me. I'm a grown ass man and I'm bawling because he mentioned my buddy's name and what happened. And I mean, wouldn't you want that in your life? You know what I mean? Like, so he told me that, and when I heard how he was wanting to go about things on his resources and bring music, I love music. Music puts me in a better mood, and the journey of following Hero Stock and helping out and the people you meet, hence my brother Brian, and like all the musicians are amazing. They'll give you the shirt off their back. You can call damn near any one of them, or probably all of them, and they'll answer. I know 4 of them will answer when you call. I can tell you personally, 4 of those musicians will answer the minute you call them, and they will not bat an eye, and they will make sure to talk you through whatever's going on. And never had that. And to be able to just take my phone out and message one of you guys and say, hey, how's your day going? Feeling shitty? Boom. To have that little meme pop up of like someone hitting their head on a nail or something, you know, like nailed it. Like just having that type of camaraderie and each other's back. Like, even though that one guy's having a bad day and you know he needs smiles or just something, just he needs whatever, they're there. Like perfectly, like it's, you don't wait. You're not sitting there hoping 2 days later that person will see what you were feeling and then give you that closure that you were looking for, that comfort. But
yeah, bro. Hero Stock has been a great thing. I remember from the very first one, after the event had ended, I was kind of sad. Like I had a pit in my stomach where I was just like, wow, this is it. This is the end. And, like not knowing 100% if I'm going to see you guys again, for sure. You guys don't live close to me, and I knew that it was an event for me though. Right. Like, and I knew it's like something I will make sure I try to make a habit of making it out once a year, and always for the OG one for sure. Cause yeah, bro, this is what brought us all together. Right. And I have a lot of friends now in far places,
right.
And, I'd love to go there because that's my opportunity to reconnect and see everybody. And I love that this year was a 2-day event, right? I know it was long, probably for some, but it was cool just being able to hang out for 2 days. It was an excuse to hang out, for 2 days, get people away from their jobs, get people away from their norm, and kind of just let their hair down. I couldn't tell you how many people said they kind of needed this. They needed to kind of get away from their normal life. They needed a break. This was a great opportunity.
And where else can you go? I mean, sounds bad the way I'm going to say this, but don't take it that way. You walk into a place filled of nothing but badass motherfuckers. The deadliest motherfuckers are right there.
You're right.
Comfort. The minute you walk in, comfort. Dude, like I remember walking in this year when we were getting ready to work. One of the event staff workers too comes up and goes, "What's up, man?" It's like, holy shit, you a big ass dude. Like, hell, I feel already. Like, I feel safe as fuck. And then like seeing everybody having a good time. Like I walk up, you got kids playing on the little putt green right there. You got kids like just mowing down on their Chinese, their Thai food, their cheeseburgers. And then you come around the corner and you just hear that music blaring. You see those families sitting there listening to music, just nothing. I mean, I watch tables just not even talk, just listen to music and just get lost. I mean, I was a part of the group that was standing up, singing, hooting and hollering, and cheering on my brothers and sisters for singing because they were rocking that fucking stage. Like I was caught up in the moment with my battle.
Dude, I blew my voice. That second night where I barely, my voice was pretty shot for the next couple days after that last night. Because I felt like, Scotty brought it down. Scotty Hastings, he really shut her down. It was a good way for Hero Stock to kind of end their, that was their last event for the year. They did a total of 3. It was a good celebration, and um, it's one of those things I think a lot of people out there, you got to go experience for yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a magical moment that we could talk it up, but you got to go there for yourself and you got to kind of experience it. It's one of those lifetime experience. If you go to the Hero Stock page, you can go check out tons of testimonials, um, well over 7,000 photos. There's just a plethora of things that came out from this last event that you could get a good feel of how awesome it was. Great venue. And like I said, it was awesome getting to hang out with you a lot more this time because I kind of got to meet you at
Yeah.
the first one, and that was kind of our meeting. We didn't get a chance to really get to hang out because we hung out the night prior, which was the
Yeah.
party before, but you were kind of, working and stuff or whatever the next day. So, and we were all like recovering hardcore that next day at the event, man. I pretty much rooted myself where I sat because, man, I mean, I had a great time for the pre-party too. It's just, man, yeah, like you said, it's such a comfortable feeling to actually just sit down and hang out with a whole bunch of people. We barely knew each other, but like we literally hung out like we were family and like we've known each other forever. And it was just no uncomfortableness. It's
No.
kind of, it was the oddest thing. I mean, I think it was my wife and me, and I think we came with Jason. And when we showed up to that house that night, and when we pulled up, there was just a house of a lot of people that I had kind of seen, but I didn't really know. You know what I mean? And but certainly walking right on in, it just felt immediately kind of like, hey, what's going on? This is Brian. Oh, like, hey, and man, it's just been history from there, bro. And this year hanging out with you and putting me on to some good food,
That boy status.
oh man.
It was fire, wasn't it?
Little fire. It's some good stuff, buddy. But I just enjoy it, man. I wish you guys all lived a lot closer to me, but maybe it's probably a good thing everybody doesn't live as close to me because be busting my ass, getting in trouble a lot more, probably.
Right.
But you guys out there in Nebraska got a good community building up, man. And there's a lot of great nonprofits out there. You got Ruck It Up for Warriors. You got the Guitar for Vets chapter. You got, of course,
Rough
Hero
Riders.
Stock, and there's there's just there's a list. I mean, a constant list of them, and that's great. And I hope that we can get a lot more other states and other communities to start mimicking these type of things because not only does it just help the veterans and the first responders in your community, but it also helps the community in that relation kind of grow together, right? Like Hero Stock has opened it up to now not just veterans and first responders, but also general admission to the community, which that's the great part about it. And that's bridging the gap between veterans and civilians, and kind of having that opportunity just to be one group, and they get to share a lot of those magical moments like we do, and I only wish our country in general could get on board with how the military operate with each other, right? We don't really look at each other for race, religion, all those things. We're in it together to accomplish a mission. And yeah, once in a while you got some problems with maybe one or two guys in your unit. Sometimes you don't. But you know, we are a group of people that know how to get along and kind of put all the bullshit aside. We got to get our country mimicking that as well. And if we do have more events where they can kind of come and see how this community, parties and how they hang out and how they have a good time, and maybe we can start getting other people to kind of get on board with that whole thing. Because shit, man, we had grown ass men's in there hugging with each other and singing, and um man, it's just an amazing time,
We had
and
grown
like
men
we
telling
need
each
more
other
of
to
it.
each other.
What's that?
I said we had grown men telling each other that they loved each other.
Yeah, 100%, man. And why is that? Because we become a big family, and it seeing each other and each other's personalities and being able to laugh at each other and be ourselves a lot more than we ever have been before. Because a lot of times when we go into a situation, we're the bulls in the china cabinet. We're the ones that kind of offend people, or not always politically correct, and kind of get ourselves trouble. So that's why when we all kind of get together, everybody can kind of let their hair down and be themselves again.
Oh.
And we need more of that, bro, because a lot of our brothers and sisters are starting to put themselves in isolation. They're hanging out in their garages, they're hanging out in a room, or they're just disassociated with life. It's time to try to bring us all back together and bring us in and get everybody operating so they can be the best version of themselves. So that way, not only are you going to be good to yourself, but you're going to be good to all the people around you, your kids, your family, your friends, all those great things. But dude, like, what does, the future look like for Justin, man? What do you got yourself, planned, and, what does the future look like for you?
Well, hopefully bright, but I'm going to continue to help Hero Stock the way I can with anything I can. Jesse's going to be doing that bike now once a year for Blue Chip, Sturgis. So I'll probably be helping him with that. Well, try to be helping him with that as much as I can. Kind of.
Well, you know how magical it is getting a bike.
Oh,
right?
Dude. And then being able to, so how we put that time into that bike, or Scotty's bike, got Scotty's bike all done quick. Being able to be a part of that felt really good. Like when Jesse was like, "Hey, bro, it's like, I need this. We need to get this like bike completely broke down and put back together within 3 weeks by Hero Stock." And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "How the hell are you planning on doing this, bro? Like, we ain't no mechanics. Like, we don't know any motorcycle stuff. Like, I'll ride it, vroom vroom, but I don't know how to turn a wrench on one." But we pulled together, and just the late nights, the wife's being upset because we're neglecting them, and they understood. They were amazing that we could do that. It just, being able to see and give that back to the veteran community, that therapy that I get, just it's amazing feeling. It feels blessed, and being able to see Scotty's face when that bike came rolling up, and it just him knowing that that's my bike. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. You can jump on it, you can burn out, you can pop whatever. It's yours. You don't got no payments. And it's a nice feeling.
Yeah, man. Even at the first Hero Stock, I got to watch Ace receive his bike, and that's the first time I ever seen something like that. Like, someone in our community get something kind of like a big item, right for them. And man, it is the coolest thing though, getting to see someone receive a bike. Ace was super shocked. You could tell he didn't even want the thing, because he had worked on it as well, right? He had worked on his own bike, was getting it ready, had no clue who it was going to, because that's kind of the secret. Except for Scotty's wasn't much of a secret. And so, which I like that element, the element of surprise where someone has no clue that they're getting it. It was so cool, man. And even watching Scotty, Scotty's been through a lot, been through a lot for his country, taken 10 rounds, made it through that, learned how to play the guitar, and has been an amazing musician. So it was absolutely cool to see that kind of thing happen. And that's what, makes Hero Stock another great thing. It's getting to watch, our brothers and sisters have cool opportunities to showcase their arts, which, all the musicians get a stage to do it. People are getting raffle giveaways. There's just all kinds of stuff going on that you gotta go check it out. We talk about it a lot, so
right,
and we could talk about it more and more, because we're still on that Hero Stock high.
If we're gonna come down.
Right. Yeah. Well, dude, it's been an absolute blast having you on, man. Is there anything that we didn't cover that maybe you want to talk about before we get going?
Yeah. If you're struggling, reach out. Don't be afraid. It's only gonna hurt for a second and it gets better. I promise.
Absolutely. And with him saying that, there's always the crisis lifeline down below. If you don't want to talk to someone and you want to talk to someone discreetly, call 988 and press 1, and then you can email me. Every day's a Saturday, 365 at yahoo.com. I'm always available for my brothers and sisters. I may not always be able to help you with resources or whatnot, but I could point you in the right direction and be an ear to listen. But dude, I love you, brother, and I appreciate you, man, and thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for putting smiles on my face all the time too, man. I love our messages and on Facebook Messenger and stuff. You're just a cool ass cat, and glad I've gotten to know you, bro, and just always keep in touch with me, man.
Always, brother. I love you, man.
I love you as well. And if you want to hold tight, you can hold tight, man, and eat some crayons. And other than that, I appreciate you again, and have a great day, great weekend, man.
You too, brother. I love you, man.
Love you much, bro. All right, friends and fam. Well, you know what? That's going to rock it for another great one. Justin is an awesome dude. I'm telling you, I love hanging out with him at the Hero Stock. I wish I had more time to hang out with him, but he's an awesome dude. Great story. Hey, if you guys are struggling out there, please, reach out to your friends, your loved ones. Don't leave your brothers and your sisters in a worse place, because I promise you, you will break a lot of us and break our hearts. So take care of yourself, take care of your brothers and sisters. Let's check on each other. And remember how I say it, don't let the day kick your ass. Make sure you're out there kicking it. Until next time, guys, we'll see y'all.